Hi, I'm Dr. Bennett Gertz, one of the developmental pediatricians at the Children's Developmental Health Institute here in Portland, Oregon. When families come to see us, one of their main questions is often, is my child's development and behavior on target? This is a very important question. Research has shown that the earlier we pick up on delays and intervene, the more likely children are to catch up and reach their full potential. It is also important to have an idea of what is typical so we do not have unreasonable expectations and worry unnecessarily. While every child is unique, there are typical patterns of how all of our skills develop. To make it easier to monitor healthy development, it is helpful to think about skills in different domains: social, emotional, language or communication, movement or motor skills, and cognitive or thinking, problem-solving skills. This makes sense not only as a way of organizing our thinking, but because the brain is organized by function. Within each of these domains, there are sequential milestones that most typically developing children will hit at certain predictable ages. For some examples, let's look at what children should be doing at various ages. By 4 months, there are already many skills to look for. Socially, children are smiling at people and enjoying play. For communication, children are beginning to babble, copying sounds, and crying in different ways to communicate different needs. For motor skills, children are holding up their head and rolling over. Cognitively, children are watching faces closely and tracking objects visually from side to side. By 1 year, children are crying when their parents leave. They're shy with strangers. They'll play games like peekaboo. For communication, children will point to show and indicate wants, use gestures and their first words, follow simple requests, respond when their name is called. For motor skills, children will stand well and start to take independent steps. They'll hold a crayon and scribble after a demonstration, and they'll look for hidden toys. By age 2, socially, children are imitating older children and adults. They're becoming interested in their peers. They engage in parallel play, and they're starting to show defiance. For communication, 2-year-olds should know about 50 words, be using 2-word sentences, and a stranger would understand about 50% of that. They should be following 2-step instructions and pointing to pictures when presented. For motor skills, they're starting to prefer one hand over the other, walking up and down stairs while holding to the railing, kicking a ball, and beginning to run. Cognitively, they're playing simple make-believe games and sorting shapes. For 3-year-olds, socially, they're showing affection for their friends, showing concern for their friends, taking turns, showing a wide range of emotions, and separating easily from their parents. For communication, they're carrying on short conversations and using pronouns like I and you. They can name many familiar objects, follow 2-step instructions, and at this point, strangers can understand about 75% of what they say. For motor skills, they're climbing and running well, pedaling a tricycle, and copying a circle with a crayon. Cognitively, they know their name, their age, if they're a boy or girl, and they can work toys with moving parts. By age 5, just as they're ready to go to kindergarten, children want to please their friends and be like their friends. They're showing more independence, and they're more likely to follow rules. For communication, they speak very clearly, they can tell simple stories, and report their name and address. For motor skills, they're able to hop on one foot, balance, and use a fork and spoon. Cognitively, they can count to 10 items. They can draw a person with 6 body parts. They're starting to print some letters and numbers. They know about things that people use every day, and they can use the toilet independently. It can be helpful and fun to keep a baby book where you can keep track of your baby's progress. This way, if concerns do arise in the future, you will have your own notes to refer to. There's some valuable resources on the internet that can be helpful to keep track of what your baby should be doing and how you can be most supportive. 2 of my favorites are the American Academy of Pediatrics website, healthychildren.org, and the Center for Disease Control's website, cdc.gov/actearly. In general, children are always learning new things and making progress. If your child seems to have hit a plateau, this should be something to mention to your pediatrician. If your child is losing skills that have been mastered already, this is always an area of concern. When development does not seem to be on target, it is important to share this with your child's pediatrician. Your pediatrician can help determine what streams of development might be off track, what the cause may be, and refer you to the appropriate specialists for further evaluation. Thanks for listening. Take care and enjoy your baby.